Good afternoon, players. Thank you all for being here and previewing a new game. Today, we are going to be watching James Bushey play his favorite game that he calls Life. We have a great setup for you today, and I'm very excited to share with you. We are only a couple seconds in, but there is a lot more content to cover. Today, we're going to preview James's biggest supporters, his family and friends, his hobbies and interests when he's not gaming, and his plans for the future after this part of his game is complete. Pressing the start button, we can see that James grew up in Topeka, Kansas. He was born in Topeka, Kansas. He grew up in Harrington, Kansas, where he lived for a couple of years, developing his gaming skills by playing his favorite game, Majora's Mask. James now lives in Council Bluffs, Iowa, where he attends Abraham Lincoln High School. At AO, James has met some of his best friends, Bradley Zetek, Aubree Poppino, and Jacob Smith. James is always making sure that his friends know that he is very appreciative of them. James's immediate family includes his mother, Tina, father, Jim, and siblings, Natalie and Fiona. Fiona has always been there for James as his twin and his best friend. James also has some fluffy supporters, his dogs Pluto, Shadow, and Baby, and cat Luna. James says Luna is his favorite, even though he's pretty allergic to her. Overall, James has a great group of supporters and is very glad to have all of them by his side. Next, going into the battle arena, we can see what James does when he is not gaming. James loves watching his favorite movie, Coraline, or whatever is on TV. James's favorite genre of movie is horror, and he loves watching horror movies while drinking a delicious hot chocolate and relaxing on the couch. When he is not watching TV, James is either playing video games or listening to music. James's favorite games are Dark Souls and Hollow Knight. James's favorite genre of music is rock, and he says that if he could meet any rock artist ever, he would meet Ozzy Osbourne because he thinks he has great stories to share. James loves riding his longboard. He especially loves riding his longboard when he's with his friends. He does have a skateboard, but he does prefer the stability and security of his longboard. Next, we're going to look at James's plans for the future after we get through the battle arena. James plans to go to Iowa Western to get his degree in either TradeWorks or in tech theater. He loves the idea of becoming either a mechanic or a stagehand on a Broadway stage. James this summer will be traveling to Copenhagen, Denmark, Oslo, Norway, and Stockholm, Sweden to explore the culture and life in Europe. Speaking of Europe, James also wants to go to Italy. He thinks the architecture would be beautiful and the culture would be very diverse. James's future would include getting married, having a couple kids, and getting a big dog or two, like a German Shepherd or a Husky. Overall, James has a great group of supporters by his side and has a great plan for his future. We have talked about in this game preview his family and friends, his hobbies and interests, and his plans for the future when he's done with this game. The future is looking bright for James, and so is his computer screen. Thank you all for previewing this game with me.